Happy March, Magic Champions. What an amazing, amazing day we have had so far today. We are so excited that you guys are here with us for this incredible event. Let's talk about some of these incredible speakers that we've had today. Guys, I am so excited to be a part of this event. Every single one, they keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And today I am so truly honored because I want to bring you my very dear friend and the amazing mind behind the Fixed Ops Roundtable, Mr. Ted Ings. He has become such a dear friend and client of mine. And I really wanted to kind of flip this around. He spends so much time and energy bringing all of you to the table and making sure that you guys get front and center so that you can expand and grow your businesses. And guys, there's so much that goes into this. And so I just wanted to take a few minutes today to bring you guys Ted Ings, give you a little bit about the backstory of where the Fixed Ops Roundtable started, how we've grown, and the things that we're doing looking forward into the future. So thanks so much for doing this, Ted. How are you today, my friend? I'm so excited to do this with you.
I'm excited as well. And like you just said, nothing happens without this audience and everybody who's here today. It is because of them that, this whole forum can succeed and continue to grow, every month and every year.
Absolutely. And we have some of the most incredible speakers and sponsors in the world. And this has just continued to grow month after month and year after year. Every time we do this, we reach such a broader audience. We've had some amazing names. We had Tom Dahl from Subaru at the last event. We've had Jay Leno. Just so many incredible people have come to this event. And I really want to kind of talk about where this event started. Obviously, I started working with you about 4 years ago, but even before you and I got together, this was a really small event. I think there were 25 people at the first one. Is that right?
I think everything in life starts small. What do you think, Michelle?
I completely agree with that. I think we
no
all
matter
have
what,
to start.
no matter what it is, right? If it's an idea, if it's a business, if it's a family. So we started small. Yeah, the intention was not anywhere near to grow, where we are today and do all this. And a lot of people that you just mentioned have become, just like you, very dear friends of mine. I did not know Tom Dahl until Adam Aarons made the introduction late last year. And I would have not known Adam Aarons if it were not for Rebecca Chernick, right? And so, one relationship has led to another. But I can honestly say that these folks have become friends, and we communicate and we talk all the time. And it's amazing how, this community has just grown and grown and grown.
I can't agree with you more. The motto of my company is that you are literally one connection away from your best life. And I cannot tell you, you and I might have had this conversation a little bit in the past, but I cannot tell you what the Fixed Ops Roundtable and you personally have done for me, my business, my career. I mean, the connections that have come from this event, I can't even, looking on the outside looking in, I can't understand why anybody would not want to be a part of the Fixed Ops Roundtable or be a sponsor. There are so many opportunities that this event brings to people like myself who really didn't have a big name. I was a car girl, but I didn't really have a big name when I started my company. And this event has provided me so many incredible opportunities, and I'm truly grateful. So let's kind of go back though. Let's go back to that first event, or even prior to that first event. Where did the idea for the Fixed Ops Roundtable initially come from, and what prompted you to put this kind of an event together?
I think where it was truly born was the fact that I rented an office in Manhattan a long time ago, and I have a beautiful boardroom, and it overlooks Park Avenue. And I had not been using the boardroom for a long time, Michelle, and I was debating whether to keep the office or not. And I talked with a number of people who said, why don't you see if you can get some dealers to come in and maybe social media, put it out there and do some kind of a meeting with them and see if you could make that happen. And I thought long and hard about it, Michelle, and I really didn't think that. I didn't think anybody would show up. I wasn't quite sure how that would work, because of traffic in Manhattan and then parking and then going up 26 floors, so I kind of put it on the back burner. And, I also did not know if Fixed Ops, if there wasn't already something out there. And in fact, there was. Automotive News has had a Fixed Ops Journal forum for some time. And I think after we were like 6 months into the Fixed Ops Roundtable, Caesar Augustus at Dealer Scanning sent me some pictures and video. He was at their big event in Orlando that year. And Michelle, I couldn't believe they had 200 people attend that event. And I was so jealous. I was like, wow, how could they get 200 people to come to a fixed ops event? Someday, that's where we're going to be. In fact, maybe we could even do a little bit better.
That's incredible. And, it's so funny because you Google it out at 200 people showing up to a live event. And then you look at our events and we have over 1,000 people that are now showing up virtually. And let's talk about that a little bit, because these initially were all in-person events. And then unfortunately, we got hit with the news of the pandemic. And I don't think anybody was really truly prepared for what was to come with that. And unfortunately, a lot of dealers took a hit in business. A lot of people took a hit in business. It's just been remarkable. But I think that the people who have decided to thrive through this, especially someone like yourself, you came to me and you said, you know what, I'm going to cancel the events. And I said to you, no, Ted, we're not going to cancel the events. We're going to grow through this and we're going to pivot and we're going to go virtual. And honestly, I think that was probably one of the best moves that we could have ever made, because I think we've grown more now. These last 2 years of going through this. The event has grown, the speakers, the amount of accolade and the things that we're doing now. I think we're drawing a bigger audience than we did to begin with. Don't you?
I do. I don't think we could have done the virtual event, though, had we not done the physical events. And to get 200 people to show up in a room pre-COVID, or even now, with COVID somewhat in the rearview mirror, getting 200 people to show up is not an easy feat. No. You got to be very intentional to get that many people to come together. But when we decided to go and take it virtual, we already had a name. We'd already had a significant investment in a lot of the assets, the look, the feel of the whole thing. And then to put it virtual, and you're right, a lot of companies who were sponsors when COVID happened were hurting. When that first 2 months, Michelle, it was crazy. And I went out, and I think we might have had like 15 sponsors at the time, right? And we had sponsors who were scheduled and had paid for the next event, which was going to be in Dallas, right? And I was trying desperately to keep that event together. No, we got to get together in Dallas. We got to do this. And the CDC kept changing the guidelines to no more than 25 people. I said, okay, we'll put them in different rooms. And then it was down to 10 people, no more than 5 people, in a gathering. So we had to do something. So the decision was made to go virtual, and I gave all the sponsors their money back. I sent them a check back, and a lot of people. I remember Owen Moon at Fixed Ops Digital saying to me, "Why'd you send the money back?" I said, "Well, I figured companies, like yours, could probably use it right now, more than me." And so I did that across the board, and we refunded a lot of money. And we went and did the whole thing complimentary, right? It's the first time we opened the doors, didn't charge admission, did it for the industry. And I remember we did the first one live, Michelle, right? We had like 50 speakers that day,
I remember
8 hours, and we pulled it off. It did not crash. And I remember Curtis Nixon at Update Promise calling me up, and I just saw him yesterday. And Curtis said to me, "That was amazing. What you just did for the industry." He goes, I'm gonna send you a check right now. Okay, I know you don't want it, but I'm going to send you the money because that was needed for the industry. And we did it again with Back to the Future a few months later. We didn't charge a lot of the sponsors. Some had the ability to pay. So we kind of said, look, if you got the money, you pay. If not, you're going to speak anyway. And we built a lot of goodwill, which I think people are never going to forget. And, and that's how it happened. And then the fact that it was complimentary, now we were getting 500-600 people, and then, it just went up from there.
I think that's really the truest testament of your character, Ted. And, I don't think a lot of people really have gotten the opportunity to know you personally on the level that I have. I've gotten a chance to kind of grow with you. I remember when we first started working together, I remember the Ted ego. And
there is an ego. There is, as you know.
There is. But, you've grown so much, not only as a person. I've gotten this chance to know you. And like I said, I think it's really a true testament to your character. The fact that you stepped up to the plate during a time when not a lot of people would have, and said, listen, we're going to give you your money back. there's not a lot of people that would have done that. And that's really just commendable. And I'm so blessed to be a part of this and to be a part of your life in this journey. Like I said, I've gotten a chance to really know you personally. And I want people to know the Teddings that I know, because you are such a remarkable, remarkable human being. And I love you dearly. So let's tell people what makes the Fixed Ops Roundtable different, because there's a lot of events that are out there. There's a lot of online events, there's webinars, there's 20 groups. Of course, we just wrapped up with NADA and all of that kind of stuff. But really, what makes this event different than any other event that's out there?
I think attention to detail, and you can speak to that too, Michelle. I'm very concerned whether it's a physical event or whether we're online, that the aesthetics are just right, that we have a red carpet right in front of the step and repeat board, and that the lighting is just right and people can see, the speakers. Most of our speakers don't show up in jeans. Okay. And, I try to set the standard by wearing a jacket and tie. I tell the speakers, look, it's business casual. You don't have to do that. But a lot of them will put on a jacket because they know that the Fixed Ops Roundtable. So I think everything speaks. I think the themes that you developed over time speak as well, because they're fun, and we want to make it, it is business. It is the latest of what's out there. We want to make it interesting, and we want to constantly make it better. And we want it to have an appeal that people want to come to this and not see the same old thing every single time. So we want to constantly get better. And, we're always looking for the new talent. And of course, we want to keep the great talent that we have now, because we got some great storytellers. I just mentioned Kurt Nixon as one, John Traver is another, David Boyle, of course, is one as well. These folks, the Les Silvers, these are amazing human beings. And when they speak about the Fixed Ops Roundtable, they don't talk about their company or their product. They talk big picture, and people really want to hear what they have to say.
Yeah, and I think that big picture mentality is so important, especially as we begin going into the future of fixed ops. There are so many new awesome products and services and people that are emerging on the scene. And I think what's great about that is that the Fixed Ops Roundtable really gives people an opportunity to be front and center. Whether you're somebody like a Curtis Nixon or a David Boyle or an Adam Aarons, and you've acquired a lot of success, or even if you're somebody that may have just been starting out in this industry, you have a new product, you have something that's brand new on the market, but it's an incredible product. Let's talk SciTech, right? Brian Levinson. That's probably not a product that a whole lot of people have heard a whole lot about just yet. They're still kind of in the infancy of development. But you've given them an opportunity and a platform and a stage to share the product and the technology that's of the future.
Well, Les Silver actually made the recommendation. He said, I want to use my time at the next roundtable, maybe a year and a half ago. He goes, I want to use my time and give it to Brian Levinson at SciTech, because I think that's really worthy of the roundtable. So that meant a lot to me that Les would say that, right? And we did, so I will tell you this though. If it's a company that's fairly new and they got a great product, we're also going to look at their messaging though, and I want to make sure that they're ready for prime time, because we're not going to put just anybody who's on, who's out there who may not have really developed, what their message is or what pain point they address at the dealership. We want to make sure they're ready for this stage. So we also work very hard, as you know, Michelle, to practice and get everybody ready so that everyone looks their best on game day.
I know all about trying to make everyone look their best. We just
yes,
got
we do.
A couple of minutes left here. I want to ask you one last question, and this is something that I have actually taken out of a book from Glenn Lundy, my very dear friend. Of course, I share the Breakfast with Champions stage with him, and he has a question that he asks of all of our speakers that come on stage. So I'm going to ask this to you because I think that it's important. So Teddings, you are on the top of a mountain, right? And the whole world is your audience. You get literally 1 minute to say anything to these people. With everything that you've gone through in life, with building the roundtable, building a business, everything that you've done, you get 1 minute. What do you say to them?
I would say the same thing I say in every email, every conversation. I would start by saying thank you. Because Tom Hopkins, who's a great sales trainer from Arizona for many, many years, always says it's important to say thank you. And anything you do, whether it's a note to somebody or in any communication, I want to thank them, thank everybody for what they've done to really, help grow fixed operations and to create an awareness, of this whole thing. So I want to thank everybody for, helping to make all this happen. And the intention from the beginning, like you just mentioned, was not to build this big conference or event. It was nowhere near that. Okay. Again, I was hoping anybody would show up, right, in the boardroom in Manhattan, but and I kind of have that feeling every time we have an event. I'm like, gee, I hope people show up, for the event.
I hear it every time, and it always works.
It always works out. But it causes me to work a lot harder to make sure that we have that extra talent, that extra, Greg Penske, that extra person to speak at the event to make sure that people will come. So we want to give them the very best that's out there. So the message to you and to Glenn Lundy, is thank you, and thank everybody, for all you do by attending and being a big part of this event.
Well, thank you, Teddings. Honestly, thank you for all that you do. I shout from the rooftops. You truly are my best client, one of the most amazing people I have ever met in my life. You've done so much for my life, for my career, and I know that you're changing the lives of so many people in the automotive industry. So it's been a pleasure to be here with you today. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We have so many amazing more segments that are going to be coming up. So make sure that you guys stick with us. And with that, I'm going to turn this back over to you, my dear friend.
And by the way, she's the best branding expert in the business. So if you want to brand yourself to win, I've heard that tagline before. Michelle, how do people reach out to Michelle McLain if they want to do business with you?
So I actually branched out this year. So there's Michelle McLain and there's Retention Masters. Retention Masters is our branding and retention division for automotive dealers. And you can find out about that at theretentionmasters.com. If you're looking for brand strategy and things like that, you can reach out to me personally at Michelle McLain. That's McLain.com. Of course, I'm all over social media. And as well, you can email me at info@theretentionmasters.com.
All right. Hey, Michelle, thank you so much. You're above all, you're a great friend. So
you're a great friend as well. And I love you dearly. Thank you so much for having me today.